doorway to nightmare. Come in. Welcome. I'm your host, Artemis Black. Gambling has been traced throughout the ages in different parts of the world, from Egyptians to Romans and the Greeks. If we think that we have a chance, whether it be from a scratch card, the big 6-number draw each week, or rolling the dice, we are all drawn to the possibility of winning life-changing money.
It's all come down to this. A 50-50 shot at winning. I've always played the odds, but I never expected to be here. It wasn't how it was supposed to go. I was the winner. So how do I find myself here? It all started last week. I had heard about the high-stakes poker game on the scenic railway. It's an old-style steam engine train that caters to tourists through the mountains. However, there is one club car where a man named Danny Pierce ran a poker game. Getting into the game was luck in itself. Excuse me, are you the conductor?
Yes, ma'am. Timmons is the name. Are you on the train today?
I was wondering about a card game that is played on here.
You must be talking about Danny's game. Yes, ma'am, but it's usually booked up.
Would a C-note help me up the list?
Well, ma'am, I could get you first alternate.
How about 3 C-notes?
I'll see what I can do.
After about 10 minutes of writing, the conductor finally ushered me to the club card, where I met Danny Pierce for the first time.
Welcome to the game, Ms.
Markham. Sherry Markham.
Not the Sherry Markey.
Guilty, Mr.
Let's just say it's Smith and leave it at that.
Oh, come on, Roland. We're all friends here. Ms. Markheim, this is Roland Archer.
Pleased to meet you, Senator.
And before our host rats me out, I'm Ace McIntyre.
Surprised that you recovered from your accident.
Well, seems that our beautiful Miss Markheim knows you too, Ace.
Not much of an accident. Just a stunt on the film that went wrong. Still, kept me off the set for 3 weeks.
Come on, can we get on with this?
Of course, Roland. I'm sure that Congress will survive without you this week. Timmons, I'll take 5,000 in chips to start. You do understand, Miss Markheim, that there is a $25,000 minimum?
Oh, I think I'm covered. And call me Sherry.
Should I have heard of you?
International poker player? You're kidding me, right, Danny?
No. Well then, this should be a most interesting game.
I'm gonna raise 1,000.
Too rich for my blood.
I'll see your raise and raise 1,000 more.
Call.
Full house. Kings over tens.
Damn.
Very nice, Mr. Pierce. Beats my full house, 10s over 3s.
That's a rather dangerous game you're playing there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does the smoke bother you?
There is no smoking on this train.
Yeah, but we can make an exception.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Well, that last hand nearly wiped me out. So I'm gonna spend the last of my cash at the bar. Roland, care to join me?
In a minute, Ace.
I'll see you there.
Well now, Miss Markheim, it seems that it will just be the two of us.
Doesn't seem like much of a challenge.
Oh, you don't think so? You seem to like to gamble. For instance, that little habit of yours.
What? The cigarette? Been smoking for over 20 years.
Quite bad for your health, you know?
Oh, I'm sure that there are worse things. Besides, it relaxes me.
Well, if you will excuse me, I think that I will go get a drink from the bar before we continue. That is, if you would like to continue the game.
Sounds fine. Perhaps bring me back a whiskey. Neat?
Oh, it would be my pleasure.
Hang on. I'll come with you. Can't neglect my duties either.
Sure that you won't sit in for at least one more hand?
Be careful, Miss Markeen.
Oh, it's just a friendly little game.
That's not what I'm talking about. I've known Danny for a long time. He helped me get into Congress back in my campaign. He's very shrewd, you might say.
Seems to be a perfect gentleman.
How strong of a gambler are you?
I make my living at it. Why do you ask?
Even a bad gambler knows when to quit.
Are you suggesting that I quit this game now?
Not this game. I know Danny. I know how he works. And I know that he never loses. Just be careful.
Well, Roland, still here.
Just leaving, Danny.
Quite an interesting man.
Oh, did he warn you away from me?
Not in so many words. I get the feeling that you are not just friends with the senator.
He's done the odd favor for me. Nothing illegal, though.
Oh, I would hope not. So, shall we continue?
A very bad habit, Miss Markheim.
Oh, I've tried to quit several times, but I enjoy it too much.
Would you be willing to take a gamble with those things?
What sort of gamble?
How long are you going to be in town?
Depends. I haven't made any definite plans.
Why don't you come to my home in the canyon tomorrow night?
Wow, that's a little forward.
I'll be even more forward with you. If you do come, you could possibly walk out of my house with $5 million in cash.
And just who do I have to kill?
Nothing as sinister as that. You only have to play a game of chance. If you win, you will be $5 million richer.
And if I lose?
Come to my home and find out.
There is always some risk when it comes to gambling. Sometimes the odds can very much be in your favor, but there is always the chance that you could lose. I'll be back shortly with Act 2. The first casino was opened in Venice, Italy in 1638. It provided a controlled environment for gaming. Even in the refined period of Georgian England, there was a fast-paced game called, appropriately, Hazard, where entire fortunes could be lost in a single night.
Nice place you have here. Cozy.
No, it suits me when I'm here. I'm so glad that you decided to take me up on my offer.
Let's just say that I was intrigued.
Curious enough to at least pay me a visit. Did you have any problems finding the house?
Not at all.
In here, the library. Please, make yourself at home.
So, what is this game that you spoke of?
Wouldn't you like something to drink? Whiskey? Neat?
That would be lovely.
Jensen, whiskey for the lady. And I'll have some of the cognac.
Doesn't Jensen ever speak?
Unfortunately, he was in an accident some years ago. His vocal cords were severed.
Seems to be very devoted to you.
He always has my interests at heart. Now, Sherry, if I may so call you that.
Why not? We're all friends here.
Good. On to my little game.
Which is?
Well, first, you have to decide if you want to play. Once you agree, I'll give you all the details.
So I must go into this game blind?
It's a gamble in and of itself. Yes, as you say, you must go in blind. You know the outcome if you win, which is quite an incentive to continue.
What if I say no?
Well, then I will drink to your good health and escort you to the door. Perhaps we shall see each other on the train again.
And if I win, you will give me $5 million in cash.
Those are the terms.
All right, let's do this.
Excellent. The rules are very simple. Now, I'm all about rules. You understand?
Of course. What would a game be without them?
All right, well, here you are.
A pack of cigarettes?
Yes, your brand, I believe. As you can see, they have been opened, but I can assure you that all 20 cigarettes are in there.
So, you want me to smoke? That's the bet?
Yes, I want you to smoke. At least 19 of them. You see, earlier, I removed one cigarette, and I laced it with cyanide. One puff, and you'll die.
Wait, what?
You must choose 19 correctly.
Well, screw that.
Oh, no. I'm afraid there is no backing out now. You see, if you try to leave now, Jensen will put a bullet through your head.
You are insane.
A bullet through the head, slow death over the years through smoking, or cyanide poisoning. The choice is yours. Or a suitcase with $5 million.
I guess you thought I wouldn't have made it halfway through the pack.
No, on the contrary. I'm really hoping that you get to the last one.
How many others have you made this bet with?
Oh, only 2.
How did they do?
Not so well. They're buried on the grounds here somewhere. Jensen took care of all that.
Eight to go. Well, technically 7.
Wow, you really are a gambler. I'm most impressed. Jensen, please stand behind our guest.
You think that's necessary?
Oh, if it's one thing that I have learned, it's to cover all bases. Oh, most impressive. Only 2 cigarettes left, which means that, well, one of them.
I know. One left.
Are you still willing to gamble your life? Or would you like Jensen to put you out of your misery?
Well, I may be a gambler, but I also cover my bases.
Jensen! You killed him!
Just like I will kill you.
No. Wait!
Screw you and your bet. I think I've earned my $5 million.
Sherry Markheim picks up the suitcase and leaves the 2 bodies on the floor. She is sure that she has gotten away with murder. But as the old saying goes, the house always wins. I'll be back shortly with Act 3. 37th U.S. Secretary of State once said, "True luck consists not in holding the best of the cards at the table. Luckiest is he who knows just when to rise and go home."
What's going on? Where am I?
She's coming around.
Good. Everything ready?
Of course it is.
Where am I?
I warn you, Danny is not the kind of person that takes gambling lightly.
What are you talking about? Where am I?
You're on the train, of course. As are guests. Poker's just not going to be the same without Danny.
At least we won't lose as often.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, I think this gun says otherwise. Sit down, Miss Markham. You have a game to finish.
Just take it easy.
You really should have finished the game. You were only the third person to try it, and you got further than anyone. We were quite surprised.
I had 100,000 that you wouldn't make it past 10-6.
And then you killed Danny.
I haven't the slightest idea what you are talking about.
She really hasn't figured it out yet.
Figured what out?
We were watching the whole time.
It's a little game that the three of us played. Believe me, you were never in any danger.
You sadistic little... But one of the cigs was laced with cyanide.
Are you kidding?
That was what Danny told you. If you had only smoked one more, you would have won. Danny would have picked up the other one and showed you that there was absolutely no danger.
But why?
Just a little bet between three very bored millionaires.
Imagine our shock when you pulled out that gun and killed Jensen and Danny.
So why am I here now?
Because you didn't finish the game.
You want me to smoke a cigarette. Fine.
It isn't that simple. Here, the same 2 cigarettes that you were left with.
But this time, one of them is laced with cyanide.
You're both insane. As crazy as Danny was.
Oh no, the first time was simply a test to see how much of a gambler you really were.
You almost made it. Now you have no choice.
The gun that Jensen had was filled with blanks. This one, I can assure you, is fully loaded. I have no problem in putting a bullet through your skull.
What do you want?
It's simple. Pick a cigarette and smoke it.
The one on the right or the one on the left? Which one is it gonna be? Freedom or death?
Sherry looks at the gun, then at the 2 cigarettes sitting on the table in front of her. Faced with 2 forms of dying, she chooses one. I'll be back shortly with a final word. Leo Tolstoy once said, "A gentleman is a man who will pay his gambling debts, even when he knows he has been cheated." Our cast included Raven Adams, Jemma Mitchell, Jonathan Rossignol, Mick Davis, and William Stafford. The story was edited by Crimson McKenzie, and the production was under the direction of Winslow Swan. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Hey, did you hear that?
It's only the wind.
No, there's something else. I can't describe it. Just a sound underneath the wind.
I think you've been hitting that bottle a little too much tonight.
There. Didn't you hear that?
Brad, I only hear the wind. Believe me, working out in the cemetery, you think you hear all kinds of strange noises.
Tom, that wasn't just a strange noise. That sounded like something trying to get out of its premature grave. And I don't want to be here when it does.
This is your host, Artemis Black, inviting you to return with us through the doorway to Nightmare for another adventure into the terrifying world of your imagination. Until next time, slumber peacefully. Epilogue. The butler did it.